We decided one daily segment wasn't enough for Bill Bush and Bill's Thrills, so we turned it into a week-long podcast recap. Here's Bill's Thrills Rewrapped, sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, it's a Football Facts Monday. What do you have today?
Week to week, it could get bleak. Week to week, it could get bleak. It's so amazing. My praise for the elite, and then also how many times you just go, I don't know what happened there. That team looked so good last week, and now what is this? It is so hard to have your team ready to go every week. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And I mean, I guess obviously the NFL has a lot more games, but it is so. My respect for Oregon at 11-0 is just, everyone playing, buddy. Just try playing it.
That's not true. They've played people.
They played Ohio State. But some people always said they always kick back to the schedule like that. Indiana's 10-0. It's not like, well, the culture here has always been so strong. How could they not be? Nope, they were 3-9 last year. They were 3-9 last year.
He's done a remarkable job.
I mean, and again, someone says, yeah, look at their schedule.
No.
That's right, but
Come on.
You know how easy it is to have a clunker? And they had a clunker against Maryland. They turned it over 3 times in the first half, and they won by like 25 points.
Got to pull the way.
I mean, unbelievable. Army's 9-0.
God dang, they're still undefeated.
Army's 9-0. Army's 9-0. Oh, by the way, if someone asks that, who do you think the best group of 5 team is?
Who is it?
I don't think it's even close. It's Tulane.
Not Boise?
Nope, Tulane. I'm taking Tulane.
Shut out Navy 35-0.
35-0
on Saturday.
They'll be playing Army in the AAC championship game coming up.
So what would you say about the defensive coordinator for Tulane right now that blanked Navy?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Dude,
Shut them out.
They're playing such elite football right now. I mean, they really are. Tulane is playing
what kind
really
of
well.
coaching job is that, though?
So, obviously, the coach left, I believe, Troy to go to, I'm almost sure,
Tulane.
To Tulane, which is okay. And then Tulane left, went to Houston. Willie Fritz went to Houston from there. He's probably kind of kicking himself right now. He probably wishes he's probably still sitting in Tulane because they were still you were making decent money. Now you made way more money at Houston with a lot more upside in recruiting. You're in the Big 12, so it makes sense.
Don't forget Tulane, by the way, almost beat K-State this year. They should have beat K-State in Tulane. They just
if they win that right now, the mayhem would be
9-1.
It'd be unreal with where they would be. So
interesting.
I love Tulane. BYU 9-1. They lose on a crazy play. The ball bounces off someone's helmet. They throw a pick. They played with fire last week and somehow pulled it off.
Against Utah.
But it's really hard. So they lost to a 3-6 team. That's what they lost to. At home, BYU is a brutal place to play. That crowd is insane.
That's a tough win for
it's insane.
KU. How did you go in there and win? I thought they'd lose for sure. I was like, they're going to lose this. There's no way they're going to pull this off.
It could get bleak.
Yeah, it was bleak. And where's that? Where is BYU? Where's that located?
What's that?
Provo.
Incredible place to play. Washington. The University doesn't talk about Washington. On the road, they're 0-5. At home, they're 6-0. 0-5, 6-0 at home. Listen to their road games. They had to fly to Rutgers.
Lost.
It's like going to Ireland. They had to go to Iowa. Loss. They had to go to Indiana. Again, 2 of them are 3 time zones. Then they had to go to Penn State for a while. And that was another time zone. 3 time zones.
Jeez.
Imagine have to go to those 4 teams on the road, and they like I said, and they beat
Who'd they beat?
They beat none of them. They outplayed Rutgers. That's the only team they outplayed. Iowa crushed them.
Yeah, they did.
Iowa crushed them. Indiana crushed them. Penn State crushed them. Then you watch them. I'm watching them. They're really good.
Who they beat this week?
They're not a bad team.
They beat UCLA on Friday night.
Friday night.
31-19.
Right. I was tracking.
Okay, how hard is it to be? Like I said, how hard is it? Georgia's got 2 losses. Alabama and Ole Miss, and Ole Miss beat the heck out of them. They've also got a couple of clunkers. They have against Mississippi State and a one against Kentucky, 13-12. They've got clunkers in there also, and they're probably a top 4 team.
And they beat Tennessee.
Probably a top 4 team.
Put 31 on them.
Yeah,
on a great defense.
A great defense
with the 50th ranked offense. I can't pick games. I guarantee Tennessee would win that game. Don't listen to me.
You did guarantee
Don't listen.
that.
Don't listen. Listen, breakers. Don't listen to my picks.
Unless it's basketball.
How hard it is. Ole Miss loses to Kentucky. Ole Miss loses to Kentucky and LSU, and they could be possibly the best team.
Ole Miss.
You end up Ole Miss possibly. Defensively playing really well. Offensively, Dart playing really well. Really good play caller. I mean, all
Are
the
they
way
getting
around.
in?
Yeah, when you watch all the way
Are
around.
they getting in?
Right now, they'll be getting in. But it's going to be, like I said, there's a few more things that have cleaned up in the SEC. If the SEC played 9 games like everyone else does conference-wise, it wouldn't be near as complicated. But it's going to be very complicated because of it. Alabama, they've lost to Vandy and Tennessee. Do you want to play Alabama? Not real bad.
They're trending up.
Not real bad.
Milroe's going again.
They had them going like that. And then Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got one loss.
Yeah.
One loss.
You're just killing teams.
Defense.
Do you want to play Notre Dame? I mean, Notre Dame, USC, I'll be shocked if that's not Notre Dame doesn't win that by 24.
Really?
I really will.
They have been crushing teams.
Lincoln Riley, the word on the street is he's trying to get out of the Notre Dame series. The word on the street.
I don't think you can get out of that. That's like
hard to do.
Hard to do that one. There's
Good luck, Lincoln.
That'd be like, all of a sudden Alabama.
He's saying we are playing the Big Ten. We don't need Notre Dame too.
Yeah.
And then you know what the word on the street is?
What's the word?
They're doing that to pressure Notre Dame to get in the Big Ten.
Ooh.
If teams start backing off playing them, they don't have a schedule. What are you going to watch all Notre Dame play a bunch of ACC schools?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But it's so hard. Week to week, it could get bleak. To have your team ready to go. You saw what happened at Oregon like that. Someone goes, and right away, my first thought of Oregon was, now they got it done. His night game at Wisconsin, and they got it done. Wisconsin had Oregon has not been completely stellar on defense. They've been solid, but not. And Wisconsin had 212 yards.
Yeah, they didn't. They scored 3 in the second half, and Phil Long goes out as the offensive coordinator.
Boom,
Yeah.
gone.
Scored 3 in the second half. They got outscored 10-0 in the fourth quarter. Wisconsin. But still, I give kudos to Wisconsin.
Yeah,
They hung around.
absolutely.
And you're exactly right. Your profession is brutal. When I'm critical of Nebraska, it's not out of disrespect. I respect what you have to do. It's really hard. I don't know how you do it. Those games are hard. I mean, it's hard to win.
Yeah.
If you're just an average team, especially. Hell, it's hard to win if you're a really good team like Tennessee. I thought Tennessee beat Georgia.
Don't take
and it
Sips' advice.
didn't.
Never.
I had a chance to watch that game pretty close, especially second half.
What'd you see?
That's back to the quad TV in second half right there. Georgia just beat the crap out
What
of
the
them.
hell?
I
I
mean-
thought Tennessee had a really good defense.
Beck looked like Heisman Trophy winner.
I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah,
It was
Week to week,
between
it
the
could
hedges.
get
That was
bleak.
at Athens.
I don't
At
care.
Athens.
It's
They
not a hard
couldn't. They
place to
couldn't
play.
get any balls down the field. Tennessee couldn't. Couldn't
what's
get
his
any,
name?
Couldn't get. Couldn't get. any
Yamaliva?
ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, could not get any.
Can't throw it downfield.
Well, he can throw it. They just didn't. They didn't just throw it accurately. He can throw it. He's got a big arm, but he just didn't throw it to the guy.
No, he doesn't.
It is a Bugaboo Tuesday. Things that bother Bill, and where are we going today, Bill?
Received quite a disturbing email the other day. It really has set me
You
back.
emails. You're doing emails now?
I do emails too. Yes, this is. I'm kind of very unhackable. People can't get to me. It's in Hotmail.
Oh.
I'm the only. I think there's only 8 of us left.
Yes.
There's 8 people
job,
left.
Maybe
though.
6.
And I stick with it.
Yeah.
When I give it out time, I need your email address. You always hear kind of a little chuckle from the person you're talking to over the phone. Like, oh wow.
Because you got Hotmail.
Things that bother me. I thought about a slight change up. If Sip's okay with it, vote right now. I was going to go back to better times. Decided to go back to better times.
Better
Let's see what's on
times.
this. Yes.
Wow. I'm stunned.
I have a lack
Thank
of,
you for this.
I have a lack of support for the ability to retort the fabled school report. I have a lack of support for the ability to retort the fabled school report.
Did you do that in your garage?
I did in my garage last night. Yeah.
I just love the
At
vision.
at 90 degrees.
At
also
90
the
degrees.
The vision of you sitting in your garage and
Yeah,
writing this out.
writing this
Beautiful.
down. It all happened.
All right, keep going. I'm
Right
sorry.
there. All school reports are now in real time. I received the email. I needed time. You get the school reports now in real time. You get the report cards come via email, the full report cards. You get everything every day. If there's an assignment missing, you get that day about your child. That is horrible.
Oh, God.
Going back to better times.
Oh, God.
Me and Sip lived in a time we had handwritten reports. They were handwritten report cards with notes on them. Handwritten like that twice a year. You got them at semester and you got them at the end, and that was it. It was not in real time. Twice a year is how it always. So you always had, when the grades came at midterm like that, you always had the wiggle room of like, you'd finally get them like 2 weeks later, and your parents would get them and be like going, yeah, that's 2 weeks ago. I'm all cleaned up now. Got it all taken care of. Everything's turned in. They had no idea. No one was checking. There wasn't an email coming in.
Every day.
Every day you get an update. If there's a missing assignment, you get an email from a teacher that tells you that Gigi's one is down an assignment or something.
Not better times.
Not better times. Not that. The midterm was big. Now what? Like that. At the end of the day, also like that, they give you who got detentions that day.
Oh my God.
Like that. That was a hidden gem. It was like you knew you had detentions. You came home from school. How was school today? Like that.
Fine.
Any issues? No problems here.
Nope.
No can do. Oh really? I just got an email said you got a detention. No.
You're kidding me.
That was a test, by the way.
They sent you an email.
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen.
We didn't.
There was no email.
We handled our business. I'm going to tell you right now, I needed the wiggle room. I needed the wiggle room on grades. I needed it on discipline. I needed all of it.
You did just fine.
Now it's all in real time.
Good God.
Everything is sent to you in real time like that. We handled our business. There was no drama at home.
You know what I did? I had a plan.
Yeah.
And it worked almost flawlessly. When it was time for report cards to come and parent-teacher conferences were attached to it, I would disappear.
Yeah.
I'd leave the house at 8 a.m. and I would not come back till 9.
Yeah.
And usually I just slither in and my mom wouldn't see me. And then days would go by and she'd just forget about any of my wrongdoing. My dad never found out about it. And I just, because parent-teacher conferences, you would get the day off from school or 2 days off from school. And I'd go to the Y for 14 hours.
Yeah.
I just disappear.
It's brilliant. The panic,
completely disappear.
the panic that went
hours at the Y. Oh, I disappear.
The panic that went through my body when my parents went to parent-teachers conference.
God.
Like that. They got
same.
Monty Miller called him in 5th grade. They called him in. He had to go to the principal. My parents, both parents. My dad's a teacher. Got called in and sat down with my parents without me and just said, "Bill's an incredible leader, but right now he's leading everyone in the wrong direction." That happened in 5th grade. So I had to come home.
So it was good news, bad news.
Good news, bad news. Incredible leader. He's leading everyone. I had to have the sit down. Had this, Bill, we need to see you. Again, I was nowhere to be found. I was in my room playing Nerf basketball. The little Nerf basketball hoop you hang up on the door?
I did that too.
Play that for hours like that. So I'm in there. And I just knew it wasn't going to come home. There was never a time when it's like, wow, Bill, you're killing it. Never really came home that way. You just kind of tried to hope you get. Imagine if I was getting that in real time every day.
Oh, God.
Imagine that. It's not better times.
And it was another time I did this. I hope my mom probably never found out, and they don't mind now. I'm 58. There's a couple times where I got to they would mail your report card. And I was like, they can't see this. And I got to it before them. And a lot of things go on in the world. And my mom was working. My dad's working.
People were busy.
And they just didn't know. They just forgot. They just never got the report card. I think it was fine.
Yeah. Got through it fine.
I got it before them.
Me and Steve both graduated. Did just fine.
Barely, but
Yeah, barely. Went to college. I got a master's degree.
You got a master's.
I got a master's degree.
Good job. I didn't.
I got everything but my PhD, but except for the paper. I got all my. If I do my paper, I can maybe still get it.
Maybe you could do your PhD.
Maybe you could do it like that.
Wesleyan.
Yeah.
We'd be there to
Wesleyan
celebrate.
PhD is serious business. I'm not
nice.
joking around now.
I'll call him up this afternoon. Yeah, the chance of me doing that. Better times, Jake. Better times.
I wouldn't have survived in these times.
I couldn't have made it either. I couldn't have made it. That work, living everything in real time.
Good God.
And then just
it'd be horrifying.
Be horrifying.
We do have some response.
Anything from the text
we
line.
got some text line response and YouTube response, by the way. But first, people said they have Hotmail. 2 people said, yeah, they have Hotmail. So
nice.
You guys are 3 of the 8 now.
3 of the 8. We know who they are. We know who we are. Thank you.
3 of the 8. The Texas Casanova says, I'm with you, Bill, also on Hotmail. Wife wants me to ditch my handle, but I'm Hotmail for life, or at least until they make me go away with it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, stick with it.
In terms of detention, Ethan says, when I got detention, I would check the mail every day before my parents got home to get the notification slip and dispose of it like you did.
Smart move. No one's hurt. No one that did not set anyone back in life. That's
D and
fine.
geometry was never known.
No, never known.
Back in 2000, this is from unnamed texter. In high school, they would leave messages on the answering machine when you missed class, but you could just go delete it before your parents heard it when you went home.
Brilliant. That would be
Better times.
Better times. Better times. I couldn't imagine. Just knowing that everything that went wrong was getting emailed by the end of the day. I couldn't imagine what that would be like every single day.
Is that really necessary?
Yes, I'd be palms up to him.
Right.
Do we really need to do that? Really need to do that? Say that
today?
I got 2 out of 10 on geology. I don't think. Do we need to know that today? Then the wiggle room time like that.
No,
It's like you get that. Finally, they get like, no. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm all squared away now.
When I say better times, I mean better times. I mean,
Last one here from YouTube. Moonbot says, I just owned up to it as a kid. Bad grades? Sorry, Mom. I'm just dumb.
it's one way to do it, I guess.
But Moonbot. That's not.
I don't think I could have said it to my dad when it went over.
With that. Plus, I had a lot of discipline issues. That was part of my problem.
I can't imagine.
Yeah,
that.
well, a lot of discipline issues.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bill, what do you have for a Wild Card Wednesday today?
Well, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to stopping by. Every Friday I stop by and see those guys with the advisors, Mid-Plains Advisor, because they have cash. You just whip in there and they just hand you a little shoebox full of money. And that's what your investments made that week, and they just hand them to you. And it's nice. It's just nice. And guess what I do for it? Nothing. Free money. It's incredible. Stop by and see those guys. It's unreal.
Interesting.
I went with the headline.
You did?
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Good.
Don't dally, start a rally. Don't dally, start a rally. This is from the garage last night. Yes.
Dally's a good
hear,
word.
Yeah, you don't hear dally very often.
No. In our generation, you did more.
I've never heard it before.
His dad, Bill's dad, told him to stop dallying.
Okay.
He did. My dad did.
Absolutely. These coaches who were in a pickle and they rallied. They didn't dally. They started a rally. Let's start with Baylor. They lose one of the most horrific games ever on a screwed up, which I went in great detail on the error that made on the Hail Mary that got Colorado,
yeah.
which puts Colorado right now.
Bad.
Prime would not be in the same spot if they just do what they're supposed to do, and they don't. They're done. They're fired. Aranda's out.
That's what we thought.
Absolutely. They've won 4 in a row. I'm just going to talk to you. When you go in to a building and it's basically toxic, and somebody has to rally.
Who does
Something
it?
like that. Well, it starts from the head coach and then your staff of how we're going to do this, what's going to happen. And then the big thing is just how you carry yourself in the building. When you see a kid walking by and you're just like, how's it going? It's like, no, we got a plan. Here we go. They've won 4 in a row. They've done an unbelievable job. And they're scored. I think the last 4 games, they scored over 40 points in every game. Have not been great on defense, but they're much better. He's already retained and they're bowl eligible. Escalating. That thing was done. Imagine
was
that.
The headline?
Baylor is at that. Don't dally, start a rally. This is what he does.
Baylor.
Florida, dead, done. Oh,
done
Napier,
in this room.
Done in just everywhere.
Napier's done.
What did you not see? The team never quit. The team kept playing. That's what the AD was like. Hang on now, because when things get toxic like that, then the team. Also, you see a team just getting run out of the stadium. Never happened. Just remember, they may. I felt they could have easily won the game against Georgia, but they don't lose their quarterback. Langway goes
20 all late.
It was 20 all late. But remember that they were playing so well, and they lose their quarterback. He's out. Well, they go to Texas the next game. They get blown out, but they play with their third string quarterback. Mm-hmm. Tell me what team wouldn't get blown out at Texas, their third string quarterback? None. So that doesn't even matter.
Right.
So then they come back against LSU and they beat them.
They win.
They come back in the swamp and
they rallied.
And the swamp was the swamp again. And it made it. It was brilliant.
They rallied.
It was brilliant how they rallied. This is coaching at its best. It's not because in Indiana, unbelievable coaching job. It's not hard going to work every day. When you're 7-0 and you're the DB coach, hey, what's going on? Good day today, 8-0. Try coming in when you're 2-4, and then try and look at the schedule. You're going like, how do we beat LSU? What do we do? How's this stuff happen? This one's one of the most incredible one. The Fighting Bronco Mendenhalls at New Mexico. They lose their first game to an FCS school. They've rallied back. They just beat our number
Montana
8
State, right?
Yeah, they just beat number 18 ranked Washington State. They were 8-1. They've won 5.
Yep.
If they beat Hawaii, they're going to a bowl game. The first year at New Mexico. What do you do? Guess what else they did? They played the other games. They've got a couple losses by like a touchdown. They've played their tails off. He isn't, now he's, it's a little bit, I know, a little bit jaded, I guess, because he's a personal friend of mine. But what he's done at New Mexico.
You're biased.
Is biased.
Yeah.
Yes, not jaded. Biased. Thank you. Words. That's where you come in. Thank you.
He's the expert.
God, what a job he's done. They just beat Washington State at New Mexico. Can you imagine?
No, I know exactly.
Just
where
turn it
you're
around here. Go to Nebraska.
Right.
If 18 ranked Washington State came in here and we beat them, that'd be a big deal. He beat him with New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. They were probably the worst team in Power 5 when he took over. I mean in Division 1. 134 teams. New Mexico is dead last.
They were bad.
They're dead. It's them and Kent State. And guess what? He's got them one game away. They have to go to Hawaii, and the chance of winning that's probably pretty good.
It's amazing coaching. It is.
It's the best coaching job going on right now because it is so hard to come into that building. We could go. Hey, you want to go a little honorable mention?
Yeah.
Kansas. They beat 2 ranked teams
100.
in a row. They beat 2 ranked teams in a row.
100.
Now,
100.
Now Arrowhead, they got who's coming in? Colorado. What if
they
he
could
beats
whip
them?
3.
What if he does it? What if he beats 3 ranked teams in a row?
That game's at 2:30 on Saturday, and
They were 1-6.
Right. No.
They were 1-6.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know if I'd be a better AD or head coach. Probably really good at either. Now, if
I
you're,
can see it scheme wise and fundraising. I see it.
yeah, well, an AD,
And then
you
running
got-
the team.
I think my strength would be picking coaches, and you're hitting on something that's really important in this day and age, because it's very even out there. You've made comments about it's like more like the NFL, where you got to kind of look at it like that. You need coaches that can do what your list is suggesting. Keep your team together, win
How do you
even though
keep
you're
it-
losing.
So, and also you go back and look, what are they? Veteran coaches.
Right.
Veteran coaches.
You
that
got to
been
have
around.
coaches that can withstand adversity.
And you have to have, veteran assistants.
Oh,
You have to have
100.
veterans. That'd be like going, hang on, things aren't going that great. It's like, hang on.
I mean it.
We can get this straightened out. What a job by Rutgers. 1-4, lost 4 in a row.
Schiano.
Just got run. They
Left for dead.
tell us the score of the Wisconsin game.
They
40.
lost 42-7.
At
Rutgers
home.
lost
At
42-7. We left them for dead.
They were. It's like OVER. Terrible looking
What happened
team.
to Schiano?
Well, it's
That's
over.
what we were saying. What happened to Schiano?
Then they won 2 in a row.
Yep.
Then they
Bowl-
won.
they're
Then
going
they,
bowling.
then they won 2. Minnesota comes in there. Minnesota was
great
like,
example.
Minnesota's going to beat them bad. No, they didn't.
Great
then they
example.
Then they go to Maryland. Nope, no, they didn't. They
Rolled
showed
Maryland.
up. What a job. Held the team together. It is so hard to
Oh,
do.
and I'll give you an example of Schiano. He was asked at the podium, it was 3 games ago, I think, about the importance of getting to a bowl. You know what he said? Fascinating. I don't care. I'm not even thinking about that. Why would I be thinking about a bowl game? I'm only thinking about this opponent.
So
All due respect, he goes, I'm not even thinking about it.
there wasn't a big, all right, that one came up that's like, no, get better. Is he a veteran coach?
Oh, Schiano?
yeah.
Yes. He's our age.
Yeah,
He's
and
our age.
veteran, and he's got a bunch of veteran dudes walking.
Yep.
It is this is the hardest thing to do in coaching. The hardest thing
Yes.
to do in coaching is to keep your team together when the wins don't add up.
Right.
That's the hardest thing there is to
Nebraska's
do.
going through it right now.
It's so hard to do. Keep your team together.
Yep.
When that, because anybody else get that, it's easy when you're rolling. Oregon going to work right now, it's fun.
Do you know why?
It's fun to roll in there.
We're number 1, baby.
You know
Yeah.
what Rick Kaczynski always used to say? Football is not fun when you're losing.
Yes.
Football's fun when you're winning.
Yeah, you want to have fun? People, hey, well, yeah, hey, you want to have fun? Here's one way to have fun.
Football's
Win.
not an easy sport.
No.
You got to get up and practice in the cold. And when you're not winning, it's not fun.
It's way different. I talked to somebody the other day about football. I said, here's the deal. I said, you play basketball, you go out and you get beat by 40. It's like get in your car and go home. You get knocked down a bunch? Not really. Shot some threes, went in like that. Baseball got beat 13-0 like that. Yeah, I was up 3. I didn't. Yeah, I got a single and struck out twice, and they hit 1 ball to me. And then I got in my car and went home. In football, they beat the crap out of you.
Get the crap
and they
beat
do
out
it in
of you.
practice.
And they do it in
You have
practice.
to do it in practice. And in the game, people knock you down. Can I throw one side note in that has nothing to do with my Bill Thrills?
Please.
I think it was fun. FAU fired Tom Herman.
Yeah, fired Herman.
Temple fired is it Stan Drayton, I believe.
Yep.
Is
that right?
Temple like that. That's who played each other last week. Both coaches got fired. Even the winning coach got fired. Temple won in overtime and he got fired. FAU.
Herman.
Yeah. Both
What
got
happened
fired.
to Herman?
Have you ever seen it where they played a game
No.
and both coaches got fired the next day during the season?
Nope.
Never happened.
It's interesting.
I believe I saw
Interesting.
all 4 of these schools with
The
the last name
Owls.
Owls have lost their head coaches this year.
All the Owls are done.
That's Rice, Temple, FAU, and Kennesaw State.
All the Owls.
All have
The
fired
Owls
their
are
head
out.
coaches.
Imagine this.
Year's
so it's like-
over.
imagine you won the game. It's like, okay, we got a chance. Nope, you got fired too.
Tom Herman once riding high as
high
Texas head coach.
As high as you could get. It's
And now?
hard.
That's a big
It's really
fall.
hard. And
It is a big
And
fall.
what were they looking at? Probably why? What was the reason for the change? Here's what's odd. Now, I stick up for Herman and Biff Poggi, and Biff's a friend.
Yeah, Biff
obviously.
got let go, too.
But you get the under 2 years.
Yeah.
But what they look at,
Yeah.
probably the most with these, what they look at is, are they holding their team together?
Yeah.
And that's probably what they look at the most. What do they see?
That's what you
how's
gotta look at.
practice? You have to look at. And
That's what I'm telling
if
you.
your team is still highly competitive, the hardest thing in coaching is can you keep your team together when there's bad times?
Bill, the biggest takeaway in this conversation is for ADs. ADs out there, listen to the ticket.
Listen
Listen to early break.
Stool.
You got to find a head coach that can do what Bill's Thrills was today. Hold the team together. Aranda was left for dead. He was left for dead in this room. We were talking. Oh, Aranda's going to be looking for a job.
yeah.
No, he's not looking for a job.
No.
He got re-signed. Napier, we left him for dead. Look for coaches where you can, and there's evidence. Bill just laid out pieces of evidence where they can hold a team together.
He had to hold it together through brutal. I mean, think about this. Aranda held it together on one of the worst losses. That's probably one of the worst losses of the season.
I remember you talking about
They've
it.
got Colorado beat.
And you got
over.
to, you got to go back to
Go
Waco
back to
and
work.
deal with
Yeah,
that.
And at the night games, they got home about 4 a.m, and they got to somehow come in front of the team. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to win the next 4. That's what we're going to do.
This is good life discussion too. You have bad days. You can't have 2 bad days. You just got to come back.
It is a cool parenting tips Thursday, Bill. What's on your mind today?
Things to teach your kids. Things to teach your kids that I think is super important. This came from the garage last night, Steve.
You're sitting in your garage.
Was it 90 degrees?
No, it wasn't
Okay.
as warm last night. I didn't like that. To accelerate the desire to appreciate the attire of adult fitness. To accelerate the desire to appreciate the attire of adult fitness.
Okay.
The faster you embrace those who work out in jeans, the faster life will make sense. The faster you get to that point in your life when you see someone working out in jeans. Because at first it was like, what's going on, old man? What are you doing? That way you guys working out in sweaters and jeans and stuff. Now I see them. I love them. I see them.
Why is that?
Oh, because it's like they're in there getting it done. Also, they're efficient. They go right from their workout and their days, or they go right to keep going on what they're not going. There's no, well, I gotta go home and change. No.
Got a shower.
No, they worked out in their clothes for the day.
I know.
And when you see them, at first it was like you'd chuckle, you'd laugh. Now it's like I see them, I go, God love you. I appreciate them, I love them. And when you get to that point in your life faster, when you see someone working out on an elliptical and jeans,
I want to get to that point.
when you see them and you start to appreciate them,
want to get to that point?
oh,
You
yeah.
appreciate
What
it.
he's saying.
It's
This
great.
is what he's saying.
God, it just makes sense. Your life will add up. When street clothes are what you go to for the gym, where you wear it every day, everything makes sense so
kind
much
of means-
faster.
it sort of means you don't give a damn anymore.
Yeah,
too.
it's kind of like, it just makes me happy.
There's a freedom to it.
It's a
Mike.
freedom. Like
There's
that.
it's a freeing thing.
Yeah. Shafe, when you get to that point in your life, when you have appreciation for those in jeans that are on the elliptical, your life will get better. Everything makes more sense to you. It's clear.
I saw a man at Planet Fitness one Saturday in his work clothes, and I'm not going to say the fast food place, but he had his fast food stuff on, and he just was working out. And I thought the same thing, like that's efficient.
Yeah.
and you're doing it.
And I like it. He's here. And he's getting it done. I would never frown on anybody.
No, he had it in his mind. I got to work today. I'm still working out.
Yeah, I'm still getting it done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put on.
that's beautiful.
I've got to be at 5 guys, but I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get 3 sets of squats in. I'm gonna do some triceps.
Right.
Then I'm gonna head over to 5 guys.
Like that. Exactly.
Better people.
Yeah.
Better people.
Are we concerned about the hygiene of working out and then
No,
going and
not at all.
being around food
We
prep?
think they'll probably have deodorant on at some point to apply.
I would think
to change
that.
outfits.
Might be
A little,
Maybe
but
maybe
not
and
a
also
lot.
maybe he was getting done. Maybe he just finished.
Could have
That's true.
finished
Could have
work.
been, yeah,
that
which
was
is true.
like of the two scenarios, that'd be my
most
preference.
likely that's what happened.
The post-work workout.
And
Which
someone,
makes a lot of sense.
I just like the fact that someone's just sitting there in the morning going, you know what? I'm not going to put on workout clothes. I'm going to put on my jeans, and I'm still going to get my gym. I'm going to go through my day. I
Would
love
you
that.
sanction it? Okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
Would you sanction it if I just said right now I'm going from here to Planet Fitness in these clothes?
I was going to say, you could do this. You're like, oh, I want to get to that. You could do it right
Could
now.
I do it?
Yeah.
You choose not
And
to.
you would be okay if I was part of the
I would
three-legged stool?
I would cheer.
Okay.
When I see it now,
I'd be
I
in
get
favor of
excited.
that.
I'm like,
You'd be
I'm like,
okay?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
absolutely.
Now hold on,
But
Jake.
the
would you not
the youth
say
would
sip?
chuckle at you, Jake. The youth would
I think I'm
look
still
at
with the
somebody.
youth on this one.
People look going, clown. He's working out in jeans.
I'm
and I'm
here.
going like, hell no, man. Embrace the guy in jeans.
Okay.
Embrace him.
You'd be okay with it?
That'd be an incredible workout. You're ready
Yeah,
to
I'm
go.
fine with it. It shows dedication.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Okay.
I'm here to work out. I don't care what it
Generally,
looks like.
too, when you've made the decision
What
that
would
you're,
Rico
that you're working out in
He gave me
jeans,
crap.
you're not running like 4 miles on the treadmill. You're doing. You're not.
What if you were, though?
I mean, if I saw someone just drenched in sweat and jeans, that would be. That might be.
What if it's a full Canadian tuxedo?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
They have the jean jacket on.
Jean jacket on.
range here.
And they're
There's a
just
range.
running.
I just love seeing.
There's a range.
There's a range. Right there. You kind of know when the guy's working out.
So
in jeans.
powerlifting in jeans, fine.
Absolutely. Elliptical, fine. But if all this
Row machine.
rowing machine, I'm going to allow it.
Can you imagine how uncomfortable
that would be? Just denim. Oh, the chances of you're looking at some chafing. You're looking chafing.
You're just straight leg Levi's on the rowing machine. You know how uncomfortable that would be.
But I'm going to tell you this: if I saw someone doing it, I would appreciate that.
I would too.
I would if I saw someone
Nuts,
straight
baby.
leg and all of a sudden skinny jeans.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
I would say it never bothers me when I see it.
No, I appreciate it. When you get to that, teach your kids to appreciate the person in jeans when you see him at the gym. You're in your Lululemon stuff, and the guy walks by in some Wranglers. Just embrace him. Yep, love him.
We have some responses you might assume on the text line. Someone says, I saw a guy at Planet Fitness in his construction clothes with the shirt, muddy boots, and dirty jeans recently.
Interesting.
Nice, love him.
Interesting.
Yeah, getting a workout in, trying to be fit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool hand. Luke says, you're describing every Planet Fitness in Alberta, Canada at this point.
Everyone's in
Are we
jeans.
in Alberta? Do we hit Alberta?
Apparently
break?
so, yeah.
How about that?
Anchorage, Alberta, and where else today? Anchorage,
Delaware. We had
Delaware
Yes.
today, yep.
God, I love that.
Very
We
good
had our
stuff.
people in Panama, also the country of Panama, not the city, village of Panama. Someone says, much rather you work out in jeans and pajama pants like the kids do these days.
Ooh.
Yeah, there is some pajama pants, and I don't like them.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was interested. in
I'm
what
not
you
supporting
Why?
that.
Why?
A pair of dungarees is way better than
Pajamas?
pants. Yeah,
You
agreed.
definitely see pajamas.
You
In
do.
general, I'm unsupportive of pajama pants.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't wear pajama
But also, you
pants
see
anyway.
pajamas. Some of
If you
the-
want to wear it in your bedroom, fine.
That's fine.
Your
Yeah, that's-
house, fine.
There's never a time I look at something.
Society, no.
I don't look at anybody and go, "Those are cool." No, never.
Always surprised by it when I see them out in public. a
Yeah,
little bit.
and they
Just went
stand
with the
out.
pajamas.
They stand out.
I think I'm going to blame the schools where they have their spirit week and it's like wear your pajamas to school. That's
Yeah.
what has made this more acceptable.
I think you're right.
'Cause I wonder if that's where it
Schaefer's so
started.
smart. He is.
That's why he's here.
I got two things. I got two things. Quiet. One.
That's about what it'd be like.
It would. It'd be awesome.
I like to
What
hear
was it
Sipple
again?
yell.
One was
come
you
in.
can't get.
We're not going to get pushed around.
around.
No, I'd probably-
Everybody hear me?
I'd say
Two.
no. I'd say it in a lower voice for
it?
effect. We're not getting pushed around.
going to finish the job.
Yeah.
And they
not
carry
getting
you
pushed
off.
around.
And they carry you off
After the game.
Yeah, after the game.
It'd be really embarrassing.
That'd be incredible. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, Nebraska's in hand. They're finishing them off. They're grinding it out.
Or Sipple.
And all of a sudden, Keith Mann goes,
Yeah,
"Sit."
so you gotta go down.
You got to go down.
Rule wants you down
Rule
there.
wants you on the field. And we head down like you whisk down the elevator, and they take you onto the field. And all of a
With
sudden,
Ben. Me and
all of a
Ben.
sudden, there's a Gatorade.
Sipple. They're cheering your name.
There's a Gatorade bath that you get. You get a Gatorade bath.
And it'd be all over Sports Center.
It would be. Dun-dun-dun,
Dun-dun-dun.
dun-dun-dun.
It'd be incredibly
Lincoln,
embarrassing.
Local
Nebraska.
sports writer motivates team
It'd be incredibly.
Local sports writer.
6 games.
To win the sixth
He is the reason why.
on three.
I go on with Van Pelt.
Van Pelt, Klatt.
Yeah.
If you'd have all of them, all of a sudden, Prime's giving you a shout out. Shout out.
I'm taking it way too seriously. I just hope they have me next
You
week.
have your own show. We don't even do the show anymore. You have your own show.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, the must-see TV. I think about the NFL sometimes, and like I said, I enjoy football, so I like the NFL. But usually there's about 1, 2, maybe 3 must-see games a week, and that's about it. There's not a lot of
NFL,
NFL's like, whatever.
There's a lot of games you don't need to see.
You don't even care to see.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many games in college. There's usually like literally like 26 games a week, and I want to see these. Well, obviously we're going to buzz fast to the obvious of Indiana and Ohio State. Big noon kickoff. Can't wait to catch that.
You're gonna watch it though, right?
Yes, I will catch that.
Okay.
I think Ole Miss at Florida hit on earlier is huge. But here's a game that just intrigues me. I think it will intrigue Huskers, even though it's further, in the past. Illinois at Rutgers. You want to see it. You want to know what's going on there. You kind of
You do.
because you kind of gauge yourself off of that game.
And it's hard to pick.
It's hard to pick right now. So that's
Who would you pick?
I kind of think Rutgers. I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
Illinois just rolled up Michigan State pretty good, but it's at Rutgers, and they've really got their team. Now they're playing for a better bowl game, and so it's pretty interesting. I think Iowa at Maryland has everyone's attention. Everyone's attention.
That's what Sean Callahan says too.
Yeah. I mean,
would you watch that game?
Yeah,
actually?
I would. You don't think Husker fans will be paying attention to
maybe
Iowa?
Iowa, yeah.
They'll be watching that real close. If that's a 10-9 Maryland win, I thought you're going to okay.
Isn't it kind of like work to watch it though?
It won't be pretty.
Right.
It won't be real pretty.
Ben,
but kind of fun to watch.
Ben, would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Hard to watch.
Penn State at Minnesota. If it's interesting, I enjoyed it. But here's the one that I love.
Okay.
Here's the one that I love. This will be the most energy. This will be way bigger than at Ohio State. Because Ohio State, they've had big games in the shoe. They've had a bunch of them. These fans have seen it. This game, BYU at Arizona State.
Is that a big game?
Complete mayhem.
Arizona State, yeah. Only 2 losses.
They have a chance to beat, if they win this, they're going to have a chance to win it all, to go to the playoffs. They have a chance to win the Big 12. This game is huge. Plus, it's new. It's new for Arizona State to have this kind of attention.
Well,
so right now, the cheapest ticket to get in is $300.
You're kidding me.
$300 to see BYU Arizona State.
Where's that at?
At ASU, Sun Devil Stadium.
Bill,
and they'll storm.
So is that the place in Scottsdale? Do they still play there?
Yeah, that's where they play. That's where Arizona State does not go to Glendale to play. They still play in the same stadium.
Just hold on now.
It's an incredible stadium.
Now you are a schedule guy.
Yes.
I'm going to read. Okay, now I am not here.
Arizona State just went to K-State last week and beat them on the road.
Okay, now that was a hard one.
Yeah.
But their schedule, and I know I'm not stealing your thunder here, but you are a schedule guy.
I love it. Yeah.
And their schedule is ridiculous. And I don't want to do this, but it's been incredibly easy. Wyoming, Mississippi State, at Texas State, at Texas Tech, which they lost, by the way, Kansas, Utah down, at Cincinnati average, at Oklahoma State bad, UCF not good. Now, they did get a win at Kansas State. But the rest of that schedule, whoa.
I agree, but I'm telling you, it's going to be nuts. This stadium, they haven't had a game. They haven't had a game in 20 years like this.
No.
Where you can't get in, sold out. The weather will be incredible. Imagine Arizona this time of year.
It's really intriguing. It is.
I'm just telling you, you want to watch that game.
Yeah.
CU at KU, which is at Arrowhead. But right, it's interesting for Colorado. After this game, you know what they have next week? Oklahoma State.
Okay.
0-7 in the league. So this kind of puts Colorado in the championship game if they can win this one.
Would it?
Yes. And then there's a playoff game next. There's a playoff game at Yankee Stadium. Army versus Notre Dame.
Ooh.
Army's undefeated. Notre Dame has 1 loss. But if Army beats them, they will jump Boise State.
For sure.
They'll jump Boise State because they'll have a win over an incredible team.
Really?
And all Boise State has is a good loss.
And you're telling me that's at where?
What's that? In Yankee Stadium. Yeah. Which I don't like.
Tell me you're going to watch that game.
Oh, absolutely. It's a playoff game. I think this game's incredible. A&M at Auburn. I think Auburn might give them all they wanted. And if that happens, oh wow, that's mayhem. If they get beat and then see what happens next week, and they come back and beat Texas, and all of a sudden everyone has back to those 2 losses again. It's going to be crazy who's going to get in from the.
Ben, there's a lot going on.
There is
a lot going on. I love this game. Probably one of my favorites. Vandy at LSU. Vandy at uninterested LSU. Night game. The crowd, what will it be like? Won't mean anything. Well, Alabama, they got beat 42-10. They got, and the place when the game was over, there was no one in the stands.
Yeah, that happens.
Then they go to Florida and lose. So right now, that place won't be crazy.
It won't.
It will not be crazy. No, they're out of it. They have nothing to play for but a bowl game with a bunch of opt-outs. That's probably what they're looking at.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's that. USC and UCLA will watch every snap.
Okay, that's at night, right?
And I'll be up until 1:30.
Is that game start at
9:15? 9:15. I'll be up until 1:30 watching that game.
Will you be watching that game
unless
in bed?
Unless it's just horrific.
In
I
bed?
watch. I sit in my lounge chair.
Okay.
I like to be in the living room.
Okay.
I like the living room for that. And then Colorado State at Fresno State. This basically puts Colorado State in the championship game.
What?
And then they're going to be in the championship game for the Mountain West.
Really?
And
Jay Norvell.
Yes, and they being UNLV needs Fresno State to win very bad, but Fresno is not playing well at all. So I would lean towards Colorado State, but it's at Fresno, and you know it's like at Fresno.
Yeah, tough place to play. It is.
Just think about that. I just went through just some that I really loved, and there's like 14 games.
Jeez.
I just love, and there's a bunch of other ones too. I go, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Dude, I don't never mention the Nebraska game because that's what we talk about all week. But that's another highly intriguing game. So it's going to be you have to be the master of the remote control.
You can be. Keith Mann is weighed in.
What's he weighed in?
I was wondering where that game was being played and if they've moved where they play, and he said that's where ASU still is. It didn't move.
It didn't move. It's still the same. Yeah.
Tempe,
they have changed the name of it. It's no longer Sun Devil Stadium, but I will not honor that. Whatever the name is, that's whatever.
Why?
Well, people rename stadiums now. And it's not.
It drives me nuts.
No, this is what it is.
Sun Devil Stadium.
Sun Devil Stadium. That's what it is, and it is a beautiful stadium.
Pretty beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
you roll in there at the mountains, kind of in the back.
We used to stay for the bowl games, Bill, at the Tempe Mission Palms. I stayed there twice. The Tempe Mission Palms Hotel, which is a walking distance it's right down the street.
Yeah.
You just walk down a sidewalk. I don't know if that's still the case, but that's what you did back then when Nebraska played in those games. Ben.
Thank you.
Yes.
Keith Mann, also, if Steve does address the team tonight at the hotel, will he be whisked down to the sidelines as the clock ticks down with the win? Keith Mann, let us know if you are going to have to get Steve in the elevator with roughly 4 minutes to go and whisk him to the field.
Keith, I have a two-pronged message to the players that I'd like to deliver.
Two-pronged message, very direct.
Yes. You don't...
Simple. How long do you need? How long would you need in front of the team?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Don't you dare let them beat you on the ground. Don't let them bully you.
And then the other one?
Finish. Ooh. Finish.
And that's when the place goes nuts. That's when all of a sudden people start breaking chairs and tables and stuff like that. And they go nuts.
Then I'm out.
And then you're out. And then you go to your work. And then but all of a sudden at the end of the game, as the clock's ticking down, they're
Get Sipple down
up
there.
by 13. They have the ball 2.5 minutes to go.
Get him.
Get him down there.
Get him.
The best part would be if it's like a dead ball of some sort of timeout. If you come out of the tunnel and they take you across the field, they don't even go around the edge of the field. You come across the field so everyone can see you.
During the game?
During the game, yes.
During the timeout.
During the timeout, yes.
Bill, do you wish you had Sip there when you were coaching? Do you wish you had Sip there to really hype up your team?
Oh, I would have brought him in numerous
You would have brought him
times.
in?
I would have brought him in.
All right, guys.
I would.
All right. That's enough of this.
Sip's here. I would have.
All right. That was good. Gosh, I admire you. I got it. You don't seem overly enthusiastic about Indiana, Ohio State, which surprises me.
Well,
come on.
That's just such a big game. Everyone talked about that one, so it's not quite as much.
But you're watching it.
God, I hope it's a great game.
Tell me you can watch it.
Oh, absolutely, I'm watching it.
I mean, it'll be over maybe by
2.
Yeah,
2.
What a day. Then you can watch Nebraska.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Ben, Ben, give us a 30-second take on the Nebraska-Wisconsin game.
On the Nebraska-Wisconsin game?
Give us a take.
Well, if Nebraska just runs the ball, they should be able to win this game because Wisconsin's run defense is not that good.
Right.
But
I don't know if it's that simple.
I mean, it's not that simple.
Okay, then what else do you got for us?
When it comes down to it, I feel like if Nebraska really leans on the run game, I think the offense will be good enough to score enough. But I mean, we saw last week. I just feel like Nebraska, Holgorsen maybe doesn't want to lean on the run game as much. Maybe he doesn't trust the run game.
Do you trust the defense?
Yeah, do you trust the defense, Ben?
Do I trust the defense? Against Wisconsin's offense, yes. Against someone like USC or even UCLA, I mean, we kind of saw the defense wasn't great.
You have a coach that coached for 30 plus years, and what he said yesterday was so true. Who shows up? Mm-hmm. Who shows up?
It's going to be who shows up.
Who shows up?
This will be more about body language, attitude, everything else. It won't be about like, well, we called a couple plays. We ran this defense instead of that defense. Nope. It's going to be
who shows up.
Can Fickell addressed it. I saw that he addressed it. That hey, we did horrible. We played Penn State in a night game, tough loss. Then we went to Iowa and got crushed. So it's being addressed by them that this has not been good. Who can get their team ready to play at the highest level? That's what it's going to be.
I hope both teams show up and are like actually there to play. I hope.
Yeah.
Well, I remember people say show up.
There's levels of readiness, is what it comes down to.
No,
the one thing that my behind the scene take from Wisconsin was there things that it wasn't good, just not about the offense. It wasn't that some if you read close into it, it had to do with leadership and different things. So it just feels to me like there was there was a problem internally with the players and the offensive coordinator. And it seemed like the change was
really?
And the change was made more based on just how things were interacting, what was going on. It just seemed like there wasn't, I don't think there was an outpour of emotion from the players.
Didn't seem like it.
That we lost. That we lost long ago. I don't think that. I'm not in the building.
No, I know.
If you really listen to what Fickell says, like that's the part that stands out a little bit. So maybe a change gives a little bit of a a little bit of whisk of hope.
Well, Bill, now I know you don't like to do this a lot, and it's you can do it on radio. It's just it falls under the category of speculation. But when I listen to Fickell and that his whole thing about this whole play calling thing's overrated. Why does it matter? It doesn't have to be a big deal. What I hear a little bit is, did the AD have something to do with it? Did he maybe not want to make that move? And now he's kind of being defiant